Hey guys, it's Caliglo here. Today I'm going to do a little bit different type of video. I'm going to be talking about some things that just interest me because I've had a lot of different things in my life that are super interesting and just some stuff that I want to talk about and didn't really have a great way of segueing into this. So just know that the following video is not going to have a script or anything. It's just going to be kind of me rambling about things that I like. Specifically, this video is going to focus on AVP Requiem. Does anyone even remember this movie / ever seen it? And that's like the funny joke because like I don't know if you actually could see this movie because it's literally lit by candle that's 20 feet away. It is the darkest movie ever put out. You could like genuinely this is upscaled to 7,000% brightness. You see that? Still can't even tell what's happening. That's a joke, by the way. Even at like, I just saw a video that was like 300% upscale of like the lighting on it, and it still was too dark, which is insane because I'm pretty sure there's a behind the scenes where somebody, I think one of the cinematographers was like, "Hey, this movie is really dark. It's super dark in here." And somebody was like, "Shut up, Dave," or whatever, and basically just somehow made it all the way through. And I don't know who screen tested this movie, watched it, went, "That was a great movie," because they're a bunch of fucking liars, dude. That movie was so dark. The people that screen tested it were like, that movie was great because they fell asleep for the hour 40 minutes or however long this movie is. It's probably more like an hour 20. It's not like the longest movie ever, but AVP Requiem kind of holds an interesting place in my heart. As a side tangent, I'm a huge fan of the Alien series specifically, whether it be the comic books or the movies or even down to the video games, right? Like Alien Isolation was fantastic. I used to play the old AVP games, specifically, what was it, like early 2000s one. So I love Alien, right? Love it. But I completely understand some of the movies are absolute trash, right? Alien Resurrection, garbage movie, right? I still love it because it's Alien, which kind of feels like Stockholm Syndrome when you really say it out loud, because at the end of the day, I enjoy the thing that is genuinely causing me pain because it's one of my favorite IPs of all time, right? Like over to the right of me, I collect Alien stuff, right? Aliens, Predator, right? I have a statue of a blue alien. I have the xenomorph heads, like popcorn bucket from Alien Romulus. That was, woo. I'll talk about Alien Romulus another time if you want to hear my takes on that. But AVP Requiem sits in the boat of, I know it's a bad movie, but I'll still rewatch it because it's Alien and it's Predator, and I love both of those IPs. So it's just a terrible situation where I keep coming back for them beating, where I'm just, yes, mommy, beat me, you know? So it's just like, I don't know. The movie itself, I think, also holds a weird place in my heart because I watched the original AVP movie when I was pretty young, right? I was like, maybe 10 when I watched the first AVP movie, and it was good, but it wasn't like terrifying or like super scary to me. It was more like, you know, cool monsters fighting each other. I didn't know anything really about the series at that point in my life. But then I watched AVP Requiem, and there's just something about the way that the movie portrays the aliens in that series, or not series, but that movie, that is genuinely significantly more horrifying when I was like 12 or however old I was when I watched AVP Requiem. I think I only watched up into the scene where they're in the store with the guns and stuff like that. And once I got to that scene, I genuinely had to turn the movie off. I turned the movie off. I couldn't watch it anymore. It was terrifying to me as a kid. I had nightmares about that movie for weeks. I would wake up in the middle of the night. My bedroom was on ground floor, and there's that fuck ass scene with that alien with the night vision goggles where the little girl looks out and she sees the alien, and then the dad comes in and is like, oh, there's no monster, blah, blah, blah. See, and he goes and stands next to the window and gets his shit rocked. And that horrified me. Never in my life did I really ever think too, like, critically when I was a kid that, oh my goodness, I just kicked something over, that there would be a monster on the other side of the dark window. So then I would look at my dark window when I was a kid, right, that didn't have blinds on it, and genuinely think that there's probably something out there. Honestly, who knows, man, you know? And that just, it did not sit right with me. I couldn't finish that movie. And I wasn't even allowed to watch that movie, by the way, because it's rated R. So I definitely may have watched it without my parents knowing I watched it. And later on, I think I was like 17 when I finally came back to it, because I got super into the Alien movies when I was like 15, 14 years old. So that's when I watched the first Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection. Then I went through the Predator movies and stuff like that. And so that was super great. Watched through all of that. And then Prometheus came out in, I think, like 2017? And that like really sparked me to go and be like, you know, I forgot there's Aliens versus Predator movies. Let's go back and watch those. And I watched the first one, and it was nostalgic as hell. I completely forgot that Aliens vs. Predator Requiem was even an Aliens and Predator movie. And I watched it, and I was like, dang, this kind of sucks. But there was a deep pit in my stomach while watching that movie that genuinely made me feel some semblance of like nostalgic fear that I had from watching it. It like reawoke like a trauma response deep in my body that I wasn't ready for. And as I was watching it, I was like super unsettled by that movie. And then I got past the first point, like past the store when they're with the guns and stuff like that, and I finished it. And I was like, you know, why did I feel so weird during that first half? Then the flood of memories came back, and I realized that it was because I had only ever really watched the first half. And so then it kind of sits now in like a weird position where I love the movie, I hate the movie, however. And it's just really weird because I was recently rewatching through the Alien movies for like my 40th time. And I came over Aliens vs. Predator Requiem, and I realized that I had honestly skipped that movie when rewatching through the Aliens movies. I would watch through the first AVP, right, after I had like chronologically watched it in order. And then I realized I was always skipping Requiem. I was like, oh, why do I skip at Requiem? And I think it's because there is a portion of me that wants that movie to be good so bad, right? Because like, referencing the AVP video game, right? The one from the early 2000s. That game was fantastic. That game was awesome. And I could make a whole video about that game and why I love it so much. But it just doesn't hit the same when I watch Requiem, because you have aliens and predators on Earth, right? In populated areas. And it doesn't feel as scary as you think it would feel, right? So for instance, if you read through the comics at all, right, and you look at like anytime the alien was on Earth and it like broke out and stuff like that, right, it was like, this is the end feeling, right? Like, this creature has so much potential for damage and destruction that if it were to release, there is no putting it back, right? It's like Pandora's box where you can't put it back in once it's open. And so that's something that was like super terrifying to me, right? It's like the idea that like the parasite that is the xenomorph is an inevitable thing once it gets free, and that there is no like recuperating from or like recovering from an infestation of xenomorphs. So I think that's what really disappoints me about that movie. It's that it didn't really build on the first AVP, besides the fact that there's the Pred Alien. There's nothing really kind of like going for it. Not even to mention, like, for the 4 millionth time, the lighting is terrible. And it could have been a decent movie if I could ever watch it. And then you also have the fact that, like, they wasted one of my favorite instances that I've seen of a Yautja, which is Wolf in that movie. He is the coolest fucking Pred I've seen in a while, right? I literally went out and bought a figurine of Wolf because that is how cool he is in that movie. And it just sucks that he's stuck in a bad movie. It's like when your favorite character in a game is stuck in a shitty game. I'll give you a perfect example. Ramatra in Overwatch. Ramatra is an amazing character. I love it. I played Overwatch for like 8 years, right? Ever since, like, I played in the closed beta. I am so sad that Ramatra is stuck in Overwatch. Because I hate Overwatch now. Like, I genuinely can't bring myself to play it because it feels like I'm going back, like, to an abusive relationship. And it's the exact same way I feel about League of Legends. I love Kindred from League of Legends. I hate League of Legends, and I played it for like 7 years. It's all over this channel, and so is Overwatch. I hate when that happens, and that's how I feel about Wolf in Requiem. It sucks that he's stuck in there. But I love portions of that movie. The ones that you can actually see or kind of understand what's happening. But yeah, it's such a wasted potential because Aliens on Earth is just the quickest way for me to be like, this should feel like a doomsday event. Like one bad choice, it escapes, should be the total collapse of a society. Because it is a parasite that is impossible to remove. It's like every time you get barnacles on the bottom of a boat and then it comes back even after you removed all the barnacles and they're still there. Like they keep coming back, right? That's how Alien should feel when it's on Earth. It's the same reason that I had like kind of weird feelings about the TV show on Hulu for Alien Earth. It's just, I want a show or a movie of aliens on Earth, similar to like, I might get this wrong, but I think, what is it, Alien Female Wars? That comic? Like, it should feel like it's going, like, this is it. If that android breaks free, it'll be the end of all of us! Kind of moment, right? So, that's my 2 cents. I really hope we can see that in the future. You get some inklings in Alien Earth and AVP Requiem, but I really hope that oh my goodness, Fox isn't really a studio anymore, right? They're owned by Disney. I mean, what they still put stuff out under the name of Fox or whatever. But the IP that owns Alien, right? I hope that they can provide some movie or show where it really feels like that. Maybe Alien Earth Season 2 goes down that route. That'd be awesome, right? It's just, that would be so cool to watch. All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox. And thanks, you guys, for watching. Let me know what you guys think about the series or the movies, or if you're brand new to this kind of stuff, let me know if you guys want to hear me talk about other things that I either hate, enjoy, or love to hate. Yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one, and don't forget to have a good day. Bye.